It seems like everyone loves to hate on Jada Pinkett Smith right now, especially after her latest interview, where she seemed to once again embarrass her husband Will Smith. So today we're counting down the top 10 Jada Pinkett Smith moments that prove karma is real. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you like this video and want to see more like it. Number 10. Getting Netflix sued. There was a lot of controversy when Jada's Netflix series Queen Cleopatra came out. The 4-part documentary is executively produced by Jada, and it came under fire for its portrayal of Cleopatra, who was being played by the beautiful actress Adele James. Soon after its release, many political figures and historians started speaking out against the casting of Cleopatra, calling it historically inaccurate. According to historians, she is a descendant of a Macedonian Greek general who ruled over Egypt when it was part of Alexander the Great's empire. So the idea that she was Greek is something that Jada's series has obviously decided to deviate from. Some people even accuse Netflix of rewriting history, and there was even an official petition created to try to get the series shut down. Eventually, an Egyptian lawyer decided to sue Netflix and called the series a crime. The complaint submitted against the streaming platform called for an investigation into the matter and for Netflix to be blocked in Egypt. The case they're trying to make is that the documentary was attempting to distort or obliterate the Egyptian identity. And of course, even with all this controversy going on, Jada stood by her series and refused to back down. Number 9. Casting rumors. Over the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of buzz over Disney's live-action adaptation of Tangled. Fans have been obsessed with the possible casting choices and wanting to know who Disney has in mind to play Rapunzel. Unfortunately, rumors of Jada's involvement with the project spread like wildfire, and it was said that she was being considered to play the role of Rapunzel. Early this month, a Disney fan website called Mousetrap News published an article with the headline "Jada Pinkett Smith cast as Rapunzel in live-action Tangled," and it got exactly the kind of reaction that you would have expected. The website was satire, but people really took that story and ran with it. It was clearly done with the intention of being cruel, since Jada has shaved her head and she's spoken out many times about how she suffers from alopecia, a condition that, as we all know, causes hair loss. Unfortunately, Jada was not able to shut down these rumors before they got out of hand, but in this case it was clearly not her fault that the internet can be such a cruel place. Number 8. Humiliated on her own show. While on the Red Table Talk, some very questionable things came out that expose the nature of Will and Jada's relationship. Basically, Will implied that the couple's decision to open up their marriage was Jada's idea, because she told him that she never believed in conventional marriage and that they needed to figure out how to make themselves happy individually. But Jada's affair with August started to make a bit more sense when she was openly speaking about her disappointing sex life with Will. In fact, she outright said that keeping the spark alive in their marriage is hard, implying that although they've been married for almost 25 years, he still doesn't know exactly what she wants in the bedroom. Quote, "I think because you expect your partner to know what you need, especially when it comes to sex. It's like, well, if you love me, you should know. You should read my mind. That's a huge pitfall." So it must have been a little embarrassing for Will when Jada insinuated that he wasn't meeting her needs. But now it's obvious that she was the one who was pushing for an open relationship. Number 7. Admitted to an affair. So by now we all know of Jada's affair with August as Lena, but it was a secret that she never wanted exposed and something that she really tried to deny up until the very last minute. This is how it all went down. So while promoting his third album, August sat down with the Breakfast Club and claimed that the Smiths, who he considered to be like his family, had an open marriage, and Will allegedly gave him permission to date Jada. Quote, "I actually sat down with Will and had a conversation. He gave me his blessing. He also admitted that they deeply loved each other, but that he felt like not talking about their relationship was affecting him professionally and personally, because it was a secret that was weighing him down." This was explosive when it first came out, and it was clear that Jada would have prevented it if she could. Almost immediately, her publicist came out with statements denying any romantic involvement, stating that the claims were absolutely not true. But it was already far too late to backtrack, and the couple finally decided to air their dirty laundry on the Red Table Talk about a week later. Number 6. Investigated by CPS. This incident was not widely known at all because it happened in 2015 when Willow was barely a teen. Jada admitted on the Red Table Talk in 2019 that she was furious after Child Protective Services showed up to their family home to investigate whether or not her daughter Willow was being starved. It all started when 14-year-old Willow was photographed lying in bed next to a shirtless family friend, Moises Arias, who was 20 years old at the time. While she insisted that the photo was innocent, it was extremely controversial. CBS also thought so too, and they decided to intervene after they received a complaint accusing the Smiths of starving their teen. When recalling the incident, Jada admitted it was the first time she got really furious. Quote, "I was looking at the lady and the whole time I was thinking, you could be helping so many kids right now, and you're wasting your time with the child who has everything they need. According to the actress, both Willow and Jaden exhibited passive behavior throughout the visit from CPS. She said it was like their own personal protest to being investigated by the agency. Number 5 ruined her own marriage. In December of 1997, Will and Jada got married. A year later, Jaden, their first child, was born, and not long after, in 2000, they became parents of a girl they named Willow. Although their marriage has already surpassed 2 decades, which is a really long time when you look at other Hollywood couples, there were many secrets about their real feelings towards each other that were kept hidden from the public eye. Jada eventually confessed that she did not want to marry Will at all. She was 3 months pregnant at the time, and she felt that she was pressured to say I do. Quote, "I was so angry because they forced me to get married. So angry that I walked all the damn aisle to the altar crying." So on their wedding day, Jada actually got cold feet and she didn't want to go through with it. There was also another time when their marriage hit rock bottom, and it happened when Will realized that his wife had been crying for 45 days straight over their troubled marriage. Quote, "She would wake up and start crying. She did it for 45 consecutive days. I know this because I wrote it down in a diary." He also said that this was the time he felt the worst in their marriage, which is very difficult for him because he has been trying to paint the picture of a perfect family, but it was only putting even more stress on the couple. Number 4, issues with Chris Rock. Viewers of the 2022 Oscars were left completely in shock when Will infamously walked up on stage and slapped comedian Chris Rock across the face, all for making jokes about Jada. But what most people don't know is that the beef between the Smiths and Chris Rock actually goes back several years, so the tension has always been there. Chris once took aim at Jada while he was hosting the 2016 Oscars, because the couple had very publicly decided to boycott the event. At the time, their protest was because of the fact that no actors of color were nominated for the 2nd year in a row. Chris said, quote, "Jada boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. I wasn't invited." He actually said this during the opening monologue, and it really seemed to sting Jada. Chris also took a dig at Will at the very same time. He spoke about his performance in the movie Concussion and said it's not fair that Will was this good and didn't get nominated. He then said it's also not fair that Will was paid $20 million for Wild Wild West, and this was such a burn that the couple were clearly not able to shake it off. Number 3, losing popularity. Sadly, Jada lost a lot of popularity in Hollywood circles when she decided to boycott the iconic awards ceremony. So she launched the #OscarsSoWhite campaign, which really shook up Hollywood in 2016. In fact, Jada was so outraged by the lack of diversity among the nominees that year that she decided to organize a massive protest. Not only did she skip attending the show, but she says she wasn't even going to watch it on television. Unfortunately, this earned her quite a bit of backlash from her celebrity peers. And of course, as we know, Chris Rock was one of the people who took aim at her. And that's really how the couple's beef with Chris Rock started and got so bad. Number 2, caught in a lie. Will and Jada have been shutting down rumors for literally decades, claiming that they're in an open relationship and speculation that they're swingers, and even reports that Jada cheated on Will with Mark Anthony. During an interview with GQ in 2021, Smith finally revealed that he and his wife haven't always been monogamous. Quote, "Jada never believed in conventional marriage." He went on to say that Jada had family members that had an unconventional relationship, so she grew up in a way that was very different to how he grew up. He hinted that both parties had taken advantage of the trust and the freedom in their relationship in their own way. He admitted that for a large part of their relationship, monogamy was what they chose, but it's clear that somewhere down the line they decided to stray from that traditional dynamic. In fact, Will was rumored to be hooking up with Margot Robbie on the set of their film Focus in 2013, after photos were leaked of the pair joking around and getting very close in front of the camera in a photo booth. But Margot was quick to deny everything on Twitter. Quote, "There's absolutely no truth to this ridiculous rumor. It's disappointing that goofing around on set could be taken so out of context." Well, people do tend to jump to conclusions. And coming in at number 1, history of infidelity. Will and Jada often paint their love story as one for the ages, but they definitely have tried to gloss over the fact that their relationship began when Will was still technically married to his first wife, Cherie Zampino. In fact, Jada let this information slip voluntarily in a 2018 interview with Access, admitting that when Will first reached out to her, he wasn't fully free to do so. She said he was just separated and that the divorce had not happened yet. The couple has maintained that they weren't physically involved until after the divorce was finalized, but many fans believe that Will's heart had certainly strayed well before he made any move to end things with Cherie. During a sit-down interview on the Red Table Talk, Will said that at a certain point in their marriage, quote, "I had a realization that I wasn't with the person I was supposed to be with." But he maintained that he didn't want to get discovered. He kind of admitted that instead of being honest with his wife right away, he just lost feelings for her and kept that private. So what do you think about this video? Please let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.